What's up, YouTube? Zanrith coming in for another garage day. Gonna try to do this one a little bit differently, but here's what we're working with today. We've got the Hyosung, voila. Carbs are out, gotta clean those up, and I gotta mess with the rear brake a bit. But first, I think I need to do some cleaning in here. It's a little messy. Got some stuff to work on. I'm gonna try to do a new style of garage video today, and probably live some of it on Instagram, so you guys can check me out over there. Search Zanrith, you'll find me. You'll see all the bikes and all the cool stuff going on. You know, already moved those out into the sun so that I can have some more room in here to clean up. And I'll get back to you guys as I get some stuff done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll get working. First project of the day complete. Got the helmet hooks up, screwed in, 2 of them just in case. Also work for your keys. Yeah, okay. Now to the rest of this mess. All right, carbs are, well, they look like they're back together. Got them cleaned out, got everything moving around. Seems to be working okay. If the camera would focus on them. Come on, camera. So now I just gotta put them back in the bike. I'm gonna try to start it up after I get the gas tank back on, so should see how it works. Carbs are back in. All hooked up. Got the fuel lines all hooked up. Gotta put the air box back on, and the tank. And I think it'll be ready to test to see if it'll run without choke, finally. Gas tank's over here. I just put a new inline fuel filter on it. This is the one that came with it. It's grody and gross. I figured for a few bucks throw one on just to make sure everything coming out of the tank cleans out. I think I got this right. There should be a flow line on it. Yeah, flow. Good. Upside down, but got to pinch it off. The petcock doesn't work properly. Previous owner did some work to it, but this will work for now. Just get it on there. So throw the airbox on. We'll try to fire it up. So there we are. Tank is back on. Fuel filters connected. Focus. There we go. Had to cut the lines just to fit it in. It was a little longer than the last one, so I had to cut it, or was pinching off points. Still not. I don't know. There's no pinch point in there, so that's good. And I've primed the carbs. Turn it on and off a few times, opening up the bottom of the carbs. I have to jump the battery because we need a new one, but I have a jump pack here. So let me get that attached, and we'll try to fire it up. I mean, the battery holds a bit of a charge, but it's not enough. Let me see if, yeah, everything's attached. So let's just listen. It's not going to fire. It's just going to click because the battery's like, what, 12 years old, so it's not going to fire. So I'm going to hook the jump pack up to it. We'll see if we can get it fired up. All right, jump pack is hooked up. It's a little overkill for this, but it'll work. Ignition on. Let's choke it just to get it running. There it goes. Oh, I killed it. Whoops. Probably didn't let it warm up enough. Took the choke off too fast. Oh, it's not liking me. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we're gonna let it warm up a little bit. I've almost got the choke all the way off, and it's idling about where it should be. Oh, and I killed it. Oh, I was that far. I just had that little bit more to go. Oh, so close. I'm going to try it again. Okay, so we're back. After playing with it for a bit and messing with the idle adjustment, I've got the choke all the way off. It's a little high, but I'm going to let it circulate for a while, let the bad gas get out. It says it's between, 14 and 1600. We're probably around 18 maybe, let's just guess. It's not perfectly accurate. And now it's dropping. That's not good. It's still moving fuel through the system. It goes up and down a little bit, but we'll get it there. But it's running and not on choke at all, so that's it's always good news. Next thing we have to work on is that master cylinder. Come on. There we go, focusing camera. So this is the master cylinder that I bought for the Hyosung. It's a dirt bike / motorcycle universal master cylinder. So what I have to do is I have to actually cut this bolt out a bit. It's got to come down. I think I counted 8 threads. And then I need to tap these for the correct bolt size. And then it'll all fit back together right in there. So to do that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to Dremel off. I'm going to make a mark first and Dremel these threads and then keep this nut on here so I can spin it off to clean the threads off. And then for tapping these, I bought a 6mm tap kit with the drill bit for it, so I should be able to do that pretty easily. I've tapped things before, but never had a cool metric one before. And the 6mm, these are the 6mm stainless steel bolts I bought for it when I had to pull the other ones out, so should fit in there perfectly fine. But I'm going to check the thread, this tap, to make sure it fits in the threads of the old one first, just in case I bought the wrong size. Man, this camera doesn't want to focus, does it? So I'll get back to you guys when I cut that, let you know how it goes, and we'll work on tapping. Alright, here we are. I took this little nub off. That's all I should need to get this master cylinder in the right spot in there. And I left this nut on so I could back it off and clean the threads out. So there we go. And while I was doing that, I checked the threads, and this is completely the wrong size. Not even close. So I'm going to have to go back to Home Depot and get maybe an 8mm. Take the bolt with me this time. So get back to you when I get the right tools. So I made it back from Home Depot. This is the, was it 6mm that I bought? I really needed an 8, which is a much larger size, and this is a, I want to say this is an end tap, not a through, or no, this is a through tap. That's a starter tap. I forget. Either way, should be okay. We'll figure this out. This is all they had in stock, so I'm gonna try to get these to work out for me now. I'm gonna drill and tap those 2 holes there, and get it in there. And also, see, the helmet and coat hook works perfectly fine. Got to ride over to Home Depot, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. Hopefully I don't break it. It's aluminum, so I could crack it. Take it nice and easy though. So there it is. The master cylinder, that's what I'm looking for. So this one I drilled out, and this one, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but let's see. Let's focus. Yeah, there you go. You can see the grooves, what are they called? The teeth? Thread. There you go. Thread, that's the word. The thread that I got in there. I had to take, that's a 6mm one. It's not what I need. It's not my garage. I had to take a smaller drill bit and go in first with this one, and then do the correct size, the H drill, which is still there, and then tap it out. So for those of you who don't know how to tap
You get a T-handle like this. Come on, why won't this thing focus today? And you put your tap in there. Drill your hole to the correct size that the tap requires for the, where's the 8mm? This one. This is the 8mm. So it's 8mm by 1.25, 2.5. Yep, and the drill bit is an H, which is somewhere just over, what did I look it up? Just over 7/64. So the only closest thing I had was a 1/4 inch. So I 1/4 inch drilled it out to make it easier, and then did the H. And it worked well, and then I tapped it. I'd show you guys how to do it, but I don't have a tripod or something set up to hold it. So I'm gonna do the next one and then get it back installed. All right, let me step over all my... got the master cylinder back in. I need to get a different bolt for that one. This one lines up perfectly. This one's a little off center, so I'm just gonna get a smaller bolt and a nut and just clamp it in there. It'll hold it in place. This one's tight, and if I press on the brake, it doesn't go anywhere at all. So it's gonna be solid. Might look a little funny having two different size bolts, but it's gonna be in there. It's never gonna move. Had to snip the brake reservoir line. It was way too long. I was like doing a loop. There's no reason for it. The only thing I've left to do on it is bleed the system. I added some new brake fluid and pressured it up to this point, but I know some leaked out of here when I took it apart, so there's probably some air in this line. It stops right now, but I'm gonna bleed it anyways. So I got my tube all hooked up and my 8mm already. Gonna spend some time doing that, and I'm gonna probably just take it for a few circles around the parking lot and just make sure everything's solid. It seems to be running fine when it's running now, and the only thing we'll need now is a battery. And is that it? Is that everything? I think so. I mean, I gotta test everything, double check it. Should probably check all the fluid levels one more time. Give it an oil change before it gets out on the road. Yeah, I can do some laps in the parking lot with it, but definitely want to change the oil. Check tire pressures, check all the fluids. I just like looking at that, it's all new. But the tapping worked. It's just, I don't know if you guys can see the, probably not even close. So it's a little off, but if I get a small enough bolt in there, I can feed it through and clamp it in there, and it'll just keep it from, it'll keep it from wiggling back and forth and going up and down. Well, this is keeping it going from up and down, but this will keep it from wiggling back and forth. It'll be solid enough that it'll be very usable. What else do you do? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Then I'm going to check the charging system after the battery's installed, make sure the battery's charging, make sure it's not part of that. Check the chain tension. Give it a good cleaning. It's a little dirty. Maybe a coat of paint on certain things. Some rust resistant on other things. And other than that, we should be good. There it is, the Alphasport Hyosung, whatever you want to call it, Comet 250. I need to bleed the brakes one more time. It was a little soft. Didn't quite stop as much as I wanted it to. But I took it around my parking lot, did a few maneuvers with it. Everything seems to be working fine. Needs a new battery still. And it should be, I think it'll be road ready. Gotta play with it a bit, maybe put some new gas or a octane booster, maybe a fuel stabilizer in it, just to get what's in there out, run it hard for a little while, burn off everything I can, and then get it, once I get the new battery, I want to take it to a parking lot down the road and just do a few laps with it, really get it tested out, have the camera on my helmet, and really just show that this thing is running nicely. Put some miles on it, well, kilometers, because everything's in kilometers here for this thing, but put a few kilometers on it doing back and forth in the parking lot. But I'm gonna try to bleed those brakes, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I think clean up the shop, the garage, the single garage, and put the bikes back in. So guys, until the next video, I think that'll be it. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and if you want to see more, hit that bell notification. It's the end of episode 3 of the Garage series.
So, I lied. That last clip, that was a lie. I am not done for the day. So, I went out and bought a new battery because there was one in stock, had a place around the corner, and it's just such an adrenaline rush to get this thing finally running right. I put the new battery in. I started it up once. Started up actually a lot smoother than when I jumped it. So now I want to see if I can get it to run. I think a lot of my problem was that the battery was dead on the Hyosung, Alphasport Hyosung, whichever one you call it, it's both. And that when it was trying to idle, it wasn't charging fast enough, so it was dipping and gaining, and we'll see. So I'm going to try to start it up, run it around the parking lot a little bit here, and see what happens. This will be kind of the first ride of it. Oh man, it started up fine before. There it goes. And the choke's already off. Needs a little bit of love to get moving, which I'm assuming it'll break in a little bit as I get stuff moving around in it. Some of the fuel. Now, another thing it might really, really want, and this I can't be sure until I do it, is a nice oil change. I don't know how old the oil is in it, and I probably shouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now with it, but I'm just so excited that it's running. The oil level is full, but we will see. Previous owner said she had trouble getting it in neutral, and I'm seeing why. It's very touchy with neutral. And it's very touchy trying to get it to start, too. It needs a bit of throttle, and that could be due to the carburetor. I haven't ridden a carbureted motorcycle in a while. And I've never ridden... No, I lied. I've ridden a carbureted motorcycle in a while. I've ridden my mom's 250. Two-cylinder... No, is it... Yeah, it's two-cylinder, right? Yeah, the Rebel's a two-cylinder. Single carburetor, though. Right? Am I right on that one? Is it single carburetor and two cylinders? Huh. Yeah, it's got to be, right? It's got two exhaust pipes coming off it. Huh. Anyways, I've ridden that one, and I feel like this one takes a little more throttle. Might just be because it's been sitting for a while and it needs to get, everything needs to work into it. And it could just be due to oil change. The gas in it, they put some in a few months ago when I first bought it from the previous owner, but I'm not sure how well that is. I put a gas treatment in there just to really try to stabilize it. Maybe some old gas in there, maybe there's some crap in it, but I've cleaned the carbs out and they seem to be working. I mean, I'm not stalled. It's running. I'm just waiting for a neighbor to come out and talk to me about why I'm doing circles in the parking lot, and I'll just explain it to him. Okay. Maybe it has to do with the clutch. See, maybe the clutch cable needs to play. That's something I haven't looked at, is the clutch cable. I should definitely oil that up and see how that works. Maybe that could be part of the problem I'm having with the... it seems to be operating properly. But I definitely should give it an oil change sooner than later to really see if I can get it running just a little bit smoother with that, just because I don't know exactly how old the oil is, but it seems to be running pretty well for 2004 that I've had to clean up and take apart. I'm not leaking anything that I can tell as of right now. Nothing's dripping underneath me. Maybe a small leak. I'll have to take a look at that. There might be a small leak somewhere just above the engine, but that could be from an old leak, or that could be actually from the petcock. It looked like the petcock might be leaking, like it needs a new seal too, but like a very slow leak. So that's something I can take apart and fix. The gas tank, I think I'm missing a support for it, one of the rubber supports, because it wobbles a lot, and I'm not really too sure about it. But Okay, I'm going to do something that's probably super illegal. But I'm going to go take this thing all the way home, which is